Hello, everyone. Um, I picked up the Sony A9 and I did some pictures with it. I don't think you'll be able to see it, but three lenses: the 70 to 180 Tamron, the Sony, yeah, it's the 24 to 240, and the Sigma 60 to 600 millimeter. That's what I used on the A9. So you're seeing me on the Nikon Z6 III with the 24 millimeter f1.8. This is the R5 II with the EF 40 millimeter f1.8. No, 2.8. EF to RF um, mount. But anyway, let's look at these pictures right here. I go into this, position myself in the correct position to look at these pictures. Basically, and I'm trying to get my mouse over here. There we go. Basically, they're all 16 by 9. These are JPEGs. This is with the 24 to 240. The camera is sharp. It's fast on autofocusing. Subject detection, nothing except for maybe human or the eyes, which makes it simpler. I don't believe it has an AI chip, but it is a stack sensor. But if you look at the pictures with this 24 megapixel camera, it's sharp. Okay, even with the zoom lens. Look how beautiful that is. I mean, I could crop in, and yeah, it's pixelating, but it's just gorgeous. Now, is that 240? Or is that the 24? Or vice versa? Here's a close-up shot of my dog. I'm using the Tamron 70 to 180 right now. This is at 180 millimeters. And I use most of it at 180. I'm trying to look through the front window, but it has a screen there. The pigeons drinking the water from the heavy rain yesterday. And I'm sorry for the folks that died. We had about 4 people when I last saw the news was dead. 2 were missing. 2 escaped. They had a low point crossing, which the water damaged the bridge or whatever, and the cars were swept away with the floodwaters. So it got pretty hairy here too, but the ditch and the water runoff worked as perfectly. I've been living here since 2000, end of 2006, and here it is, 2025. You know, almost 20 years. I never had a problem with flooding. But took some pictures. You can see how sharp and clear these are. Fast focusing, okay? Not one bad shot. The only problems I had was anything reflecting or sometimes on the cloud, but you can manage those. But look at the dust on the glass, on the DVD player, you name it. Um, Sharp. I love the picture quality, even through looking through the screen. And then, of course, with no light, Look how sharp these pictures are. Now, the picture quality, or the science is off. The A9 II was better, and then the A9 III is much better on the color science, okay? There's nothing you can do about it, but the pictures are sharp. Looking at the glass, and somehow I misfocused right there. It got the leaves instead of the lens that I was trying. But that's sharp, that's sharp. So I did get one out of focus, but the focusing was on something else closer. So sorry about that. But the beautiful flowers, bring it in real close. I'm doing the 60 to 600 right now on the Sigma. I mean, you can see where the sun's going through the leaves, the shade from the leaves or the trees. Um, just beautiful. And of course, the playhouse. And then my cat. And then I got a close up of, I was picturing on that bulb just left of the tree. You can see the other one I tried, and that was blurry. But this is with this 600 millimeters. And I think it was 7.1. Still get a little bokeh in the background. Here's my lock. See? Very close. And I'm going backwards. So 600, 400, I think, 200, 100, 60 millimeters. And then the flowers on the crepe myrtle in the front. Clouds, 60 millimeters. I tried to get the airplane. It couldn't focus on the airplane. You know, with the white contrast, it did have a little difficulty, but I did have it on a tripod, and it was hard finding the airplane until I started focusing in. And then it started focus breathing with the Sigma. But look at that, 60 millimeters. And I changed the white balance on this to match what I was seeing. But look at that. You know, dirt looks like dirt, okay? Kind of like a reddish brown dirt, but it rained very hard. And I might have the sunset picture profile on too. Um, I was kind of experimenting with that. So there's a knot at 16 millimeters. That's at 600. And then the same thing with the crepe myrtle in the front. Look at that. And somehow I got two splotches on the right. I don't know. I have to look at that. I had 3 different lenses, and you can get dust in there pretty easily. Anyway, this is the tree limbs across the street, my neighbor's yard, at 600 millimeters. Look how sharp and clear that is. I love the lens. Yes, it's heavy. Yes, I have it on a tripod, but it was excellent. And I like the shade between the dark and the brightness. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at those spots. Look at the camera or look at the lens. It's one or the other. But there's the stop sign, 60, 600 millimeters. And then that's my night light for the guest bedroom, or guest bathroom, I should say. So it looks like a Tiffany, but it's a solar panel on the front. And after the rain yesterday, it just went and show anymore. So it's back outside. All I need is like 6 good hours and it'll last all day. And then I have to put it out either the next day or the day after. But you can see 60, 600 millimeters. And then I started doing the clouds. They're coming. But we won't have any rain until next week, next Tuesday or Wednesday. And that'll be, I cut the lawn on Mondays now instead of the weekend. I enjoy the weekend and then I go back to work on Monday. I'm retired, but the grass still looks good. And then the crepe myrtle, 60 millimeters, and then at 600. Bird bath, that flower, 600 millimeters, and that's the last shot. So it's a great camera still, okay? I think, oh, these pictures look pretty good, but I'm going to shock you. They're all JPEG, and they're at the lowest. I think the highest megapixels was 7.1. So they were basically 5 megapixels, a little bit below, all the way up to 7.1. So when you hear that cameras need to be higher megapixels, these were shot at 5. Sharp, clear. And that's probably why the focus was fast, because, and I have a V90 UH2S card in there, or UHS2 card. So, and then I have another one in the other slot, but that's at V30. And you see, just going back, that's a pretty shot right there. These are all 5.1 megapixels. And I'm liking that. So I think I'll keep that. Yeah, I'll just leave it just like that for the end shot. Thank you for watching. No lights off. I've learned to turn that light off in the background. A lot of people commented. And when I saw it, I started turning it off, and then I started reading the comments. And so my bad right there. Just the daylight coming through the window. And then the reflections of the light off the 2 monitors. So anyhow, what I've learned is to turn on the Z6 III on for a little bit. It's I tried different capture cards, mess around with the cables, the batteries and stuff like that. It always did the same thing. So the latest update I got through Apple with Mac OS and then also Ecamm, it starts blacking out. So if I run the camera for 15 minutes before I start doing Ecamm Live Pro, it's fine. It doesn't shut down. So that's just a new thing that's happening that you get used to. You find a workaround and you deal with it. Thank you for watching. Remember, stay safe, keep smiling, and I'll see you next time. Bye, folks. Have a wonderful day.